What up, YouTube? Back again with the album review, and this time I'm reviewing another album, and it's one of my personal favorite rap artists of all time, and I think the best rapper of all time, and that is Eminem's album Encore. Um, when this come out, 2004. Executive producer Dr. Dre, written by Eminem himself. Here's the front, here's the side, and here's the back. This is the 2 CD. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it says 2 CD. And yeah, I'll try to open it. It comes with the flip, so I'll try to be careful. Yeah, so here's the first disc. And here's a bonus disc. Pretty funny booklet right there. Um, so the first track is "Curtains Up," which is basically just like the curtain, like you hear like the sounds of curtains opening. Never that special, but it's alright, I guess. Evil Deeds, basically just like him talking about how like he is like evil deeds. A very nice track. Never Enough featuring 50 Cent and Nate Dogg. I love the song. Just like basically talking about like how stuff is basically, you know, never enough, I guess. It's been a while since I've actually listened to this album, so bear with me if I don't get like the story like completely right. So yeah, Yellow Brick Road are basically like rapping about basically like trying to find his like way home and everything. It's a very nice track. The first track I actually listened to on this album, and I fell in love with it. Set of the Glare is from my iPod Touch, but anyway, like Toy Soldiers, basically like explaining like the beef that he had with Ja Rule. Very nice song. Like Toy Soldiers, I believe, is one of the singles that was on this album, if I'm correct. Mosh, pretty funny song. I don't really remember too much about it. Puke, basically talking about like a person like every time like he sees him, like he basically like gets sick. Very funny song. My first single, pretty good song. Basically talking about like his first single. I guess on this album, I guess. Paul Skit, pretty funny. Paul Rosenberg is always funny when he's featured on Eminem's albums. Rayman, pretty good song. Big Weenie, pretty funny song. M calls Paul, basically Eminem calling Paul back. Pretty funny. Just Lose It is basically kind of like a pop type mix with hip hop into it, which a lot of people dislike, but I personally thought it was fine. Ass Like That, basically just talking about like dance type music, I believe, or something. Don't really remember. Spend Some Time featuring Obi Trice, Stat, Quo, and 50 Cent. Don't really know too much about the song, but I remember listening to it once and I thought it was pretty good. Um, Mockingbird, one of my favorite tracks on this album, basically talking about, you know, about like the troubles like that he had like with his ex-wife Kim Scott, and like talking about feeling bad of not being there much for the kids. Haley, Lainey, his daughters, and basically like saying how everything's gonna be okay. Very nice track. I think this is I think Mockingbird's another single on this album, I think. But yeah, very good one. Definitely give that a listen if you haven't heard that yet. Crazy in Love. Don't remember too much about it, but from what I remember, I thought it was pretty good. One Shot, Two Shot, one of my favorites on this, featuring D12. Gotta love that track. Nice beat, nice lyrics, everything. Just straight to the point, very good. Final Thought, basically him just Eminem giving him his like final thought. I think it could be on the album. Like I said, I haven't listened to this in a long time, so bear with me. But yeah, usually his skits are pretty funny, so from what I remember, I think it was funny. Encore featuring Dr. Dre and 50 Cent. Pretty good track. the bonus CD, We as Americans, basically him talking about like the government and everything. He gets a little bit political on here, but like he doesn't get like too political in his lyrics. Like he might talk about some like political stuff in some of his songs, but like he's not really like a political type person, but he is a liberal, and I respect that. Love You More. Don't really know too much about that song, but from what I remember, I thought it was pretty good. Let's see, the last track is what's it called? Um, Ricky Ticky Talk. Don't really remember too much about it, but from what I remember, I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, this album is not one of Eminem's best work in my opinion, but like it still has very likable tracks on it. Um, but yeah, it's a very nice CD, very nice to collect. If you're a hardcore Eminem fan like myself, then you owe it to yourself. Definitely pick it up. If you don't like it, like I would still I'd still pick it up, like for like the sake of having all the CDs. I pretty much almost have all of his albums except for Infinite, Recovery, and Marshall Mathers LP2. I need to get those eventually. Infinite's actually out of print, so I don't know if I'm ever gonna have that in my collection or not. I also need to get some shady EP, the re-up, stuff like that. But yeah, this album's pretty good. I wouldn't say it tops Infinite, Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, or the Eminem Show, but it's definitely worth giving a listen to. But I still think that the albums before this one are a lot better compared to this album. But it's a pretty good work that Eminem who put this album together, and a lot of critics when this came out, a lot of people crapped on this album, even Eminem even bashed it, but like he talks about it in the Recovery album, but that's another video for another day, so we'll save that for later. But anyway, definitely check it out. Like you can get it pretty cheap nowadays because it's been out ever since 2004, so it's quite a long time. It's been 12 years now, so yeah, definitely pick it up. Definitely check out Eminem's music if you like hip hop in general. And yeah, that's it for now. See you next time. Peace out.